Alright, and finally this is page 6. We're going to start with number 48. Two classes wore pedometers for 1 week and recorded the number of miles each student walked. The data for each class is recorded in the dot plots below. Which data sets have a lower standard deviation? In other words, which standard deviation has a closer spread, so they're not spread out as much. This one must have a pretty high standard deviation because they're kind of spread all the way from 4 to 13. But the second class, class B, is only from 5 to 8. So it has to be class B. Number 49. Find the quadratic regression model for the data. Then find the missing y value. So here's how I would do this. I'm going to start by entering these values into my list. And so right now I'm going to clear the list that I have in there, and I'm going to make list 1 my x values. So that's going to be -2 and 0 and 2 and 4. And then I'm going to go to my list 2, which is my y values, which is -8 and 0 and 12 and 28. And I'm going to go to stat, calculate. I'm going to go down to a quadratic regression line, which is what they said they wanted there. And so it gives me a quadratic equation of 0.5x squared plus 5x plus 0. Well, that's my quadratic model. That's the first part of this. But then they want us to plug in 6. And so if I were to plug in 6 here, that's going to be 6 squared, or 36, times 0.5, which is 18. 5 times 6, well, that's 30, plus 0. Well, that's going to be 48. So when x is 6, y is going to be 48. And then my last question, number 50. Thomas has the following test scores so far this semester. He's got an 84, 92, 88, 89, and 95. What score must Thomas get on his 6th test to have an average of 93? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to average all these together. We're going to take 84 plus 92 plus 88 plus 89 plus 95, plus he's going to have one more. Then we're going to divide it by 6 to get the average, and they want the average to be 93. So let's simplify this while we can. I'm going to take the first few numbers, and I'm just going to add them together. So I'm going to take the 84 plus the 92 plus the 88 plus the 89 plus the 95 and add those together. That's 448 plus the x. And I'm also going to divide both sides by, or multiply both sides by 6. So 93 times 6, well, that gives me 558. So 448 plus x equals 558. Well, then I'm just going to subtract 448 from both sides. And if I do that, poor Thomas, because it looks like he's going to have to get 110% on his last test to average a 93%. I don't know if that's going to be possible unless there's extra credit. But that's number 50, and that is page 6.